ladies and gentlemen. These are the breaks. Myself, Fredo Thinks. It is a beautiful Tuesday, July the 11th. It is the MLB All-Star Game. We are just hours away, but guess what? You are just moments away from. These are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
The breaks. It is July the 11th, Tuesday. Nice and sunny out here in Los Angeles, even though I'm in the hoodie and a sweatshirt. But we're in studio, and tonight is going to be a big moment up in Seattle tonight. Everyone, just tune in at 5 o'clock on Fox 11 here in your local Los Angeles market. But MLB All-Star Game is going to be underway just in a few hours from now. But, it's going to be All-Star after All-Star after All-Star, then Hall of Famer against Hall of Famer. You are going to see stars against stars. This is, for some reason, I feel like this is better than an NBA All-Star game in an NFL kind of Pro Bowl game in a way. Because, yes, in basketball, you challenge each other. You can face off each other. But in baseball, it's a one against one. It's like you're the pitcher, you're the batter. Can you hit on me or can I strike you out? I'm excited for those type of matchups. Tonight, you'll see a lot of those. You'll see maybe a Shohei Ohtani against, let's say, Julio Rodriguez, or you'll see possible, Zach Gallen against Aaron Judge. There's a lot of great matchups tonight. Everything takes place live from Seattle at 5 o'clock. But before we get more into the All-Star break, into the All-Star game, let's look at what happened last night. Monday night, of course, if you guys were all watching Monday Night Fredo, you saw that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. won the home run derby here in 2023. He was able to be so consistent through all 4 rounds of the home run derby in order to beat Pete Alonso, in order to beat Julio Rodriguez, in order to beat Mookie Betts, and to beat, every single member that had an opportunity to step up to the plate last night. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the first father and son duo to win the home run derby. Of course, we all remember the great Vladimir Guerrero Sr. back in 2007 winning the home run derby as a member of the Anaheim Angels. Vladimir Guerrero was the batter, the hitter in those days, in those years back then, because he was one of the scariest batters you can face. When you talk about Barry Bonds, you talk about Frank Thomas, you talk about Alex Rodriguez, you got to have Vladimir Guerrero in those conversations. And when you see how great he was, and now you see his son be as great as his father, maybe even better than his father. But the craziest part about it is, you look at LeBron James. LeBron James started his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And let's say that next season, Bronny James starts his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's exactly what happened with Vladimir Sr. and Jr. When Vladimir Sr. was a rookie, he was playing for the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, back in the days, you did have a lot of less teams in the league, and you had more momentum in the type of bats the players used back in the days. And, back in the days, you did have a little steroids over there, Now, you really can't get away with none of that. Some people want to say that Vladimir Guerrero Sr. did use steroids. Who knows? No one really knows exactly what happened. I know that A-Rod used steroids. I know that Sammy Sosa used steroids. I know that Mark McGwire used steroids. I know that Barry Bonds. I'll just stop there. A lot of people used steroids back in the days. A lot. Greg Maddux. Eric Gagne. I can go on and on and on. Fernando Tatis Jr. just recently, about a year ago. So everyone was accustomed to that type of stuff. But nowadays, you really can't not go with those type of, kind of sports enhancement kind of things that make you elevate your game to a whole nother level. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is doing it the best and the healthiest way he possibly can. Hitting the ball and launching them out there to the stands, almost over the stadium. He got a sweet swing. It's very sweet. But nothing compares to Pete Alonso and Julio Rodriguez, who ended up also putting up a show last night up in, Seattle. Of course, Julio Rodriguez does play for the Seattle Mariners, who just signed a gigantic contract. I mean, he is arguably one of the youngest players and the richest players at the same time. But the Major League Baseball really put some things together now, because we understand that Major League Baseball, to a lot of people out there, maybe you, right now watching, is like, Fredo, can you move on from baseball? Because I don't want to talk about baseball. I want to know what's going on with the Sparks. I want to know what's going on with the Lakers. What's going on with Golden State? What's going on with Victor Wembanyama? Like, that's what you guys want to know about. But take a second. Relax. I will get to that. But I just want to show some love and appreciation to Major League Baseball, because, it seems to always fall down a step. It's like Major League Baseball is coming up with some crazy rules. They're trying to do a lot of different things. I mean, they got a pitch clock. You're now being rushed. When you're trying to prepare, step up to the plate, take your time, take a breather, look around the stands, see who's playing first base. But now you're being rushed. Now you're on the time clock. Now you're trying to get your gloves ready, get everything ready, get situated. Next thing you know, time's over, strike one. And it's kind of like, come on, man. Like, let the game be the way it used to be. Like, let's stop all these little rules around it. The only one thing, there's only one, two things I can say, but there's one thing that I really do like what Major League Baseball did to Major League Baseball last year. I think last year was the first year it started, where if you go to extra innings, like, now you start the 10th inning, the top of the 10th, you start with a runner on second base. That is the best move that Major League Baseball did, because when you go to overtime and baseball, it's like you go to extra innings because your team just cannot get a hit. Maybe the opposing pitcher is so good that he's not allowing any hits. And when it happens like that, you sometimes end up being in 16, 17, 18 inning games. Like, little do you know, that's already 18 innings, 9 innings a game. That's 2 games you played. And that happened a lot throughout like almost 100 years of baseball. And finally, Major League Baseball put that new rule. They now got a runner on second at the beginning of every inning after once you're in extra innings. So it's a very good thing for baseball. My second kind of favorite is kind of the DH part. No pitchers ever will bat again in Major League Baseball besides Shohei Ohtani. Of course, he's a two-way player, but there's no other pitcher. Like, I maybe saw Clayton Kershaw's last at-bat in baseball 2 years ago. I would never see Kershaw hit again. Kershaw was arguably one of the best pitching, hitting type of players there were out there. Hitting home runs, getting doubles, getting singles, and making it very exciting. He wasn't no Shohei Ohtani, of course. Shohei over here leading the Major League Baseball with 32 home runs right now. Incredible. Amazing. And, of course, you can catch Shohei Ohtani tonight pitching against the National League. And one thing that I do want to say about Major League Baseball, Will Smith, not Will Smith, the actor or the guy who likes to be aggressive out there and slapping people around stages, but Will Smith, the catcher of the Los Angeles Dodgers, was asked a question, a very interesting question during media day at the All-Star game. And guess what he said? They asked him, hey, what do you think about Shohei Ohtani joining the Dodgers? Woo! I got to give some credit to that reporter for asking that question out there. And guess what Will Smith said? Will Smith said, hey, man, I will be happy. I will be glad to have Shohei Ohtani and welcome him with open arms. I mean, every single member of the Los Angeles County will welcome him with open arms. I mean, I will go pick him up from Angel Stadium and drop him off at Dodger Stadium every single day. I mean, I'll do that for Shohei. I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of taco stands out there making Shohei tacos. Of course, today is Taco Tuesday, so let's celebrate a little bit. Make sure you go ahead and have some tacos. Don't go to Taco Bell. Don't go to Del Taco. Don't go to Jack in the Box tacos. We need some real tacos. Go out there in the streets of East LA, downtown Los Angeles. You'll find some very good street tacos because it is Taco Tuesday. When we return, we'll talk a little bit about the WNBA, the NBA, and NFL football is right around the corner. We'll return here on the breaks.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
I mean, these are the breaks, and I'm pretty sure that the Los Angeles Sparks need a break, and I'm going straight into it right now. I mean, the LA Sparks right now are on the 5-game losing streak. It is unbelievable what they're dealing with right now. The injuries, the illnesses, players missing games, and, you know, there's certain hardship contracts that are still riding with the team where, you know, the team needs to be able to league, not the team, the league needs to be able to make some sort of new rules into expanding the rosters, allowing when there's no open roster spots to be able to get filled. And even Nneka Ogwumike was talking about it yesterday post-game after a devastating loss against the Phoenix Mercury, 78-72. Phoenix comes on top. Nneka was kind of bringing and lighting some light to this kind of topic that, you know, some players are very uncomfortable talking about it, but someone like Nneka Ogwumike, who is the players president for their association, she really likes to talk about it. And I know, and all season long, she's talked about stuff that can improve the whole league, not just the LA Sparks, but the whole league. And it kind of took place until Brittany Griner got in a back and forth situation in an airport in Texas a few weeks ago. That kind of summed it up for the WNBA. And they're like, okay, you know what? Now we're going to be able to start getting these people to start flying some charter and getting better transportation and planning and stuff like that. So when you look at a situation like that, you know that Nneka is one of the greatest leaders out there, you know, doing so many things on and off the court, preparing her body at year 14 right now, being able to perform the way she's doing. She's leading the Sparks at 19.5 points per game. She's putting up 12 rebounds a game. She's shooting great from the free throw line. She's shooting great from the field. And at the end of the day, you cannot ask of her anymore. You can't ask her like, hey, Nneka, give me 25, because there's nights that she gives you 27 without even asking for it. And she's so consistent, one of the most consistent players alongside Jordan Canada. You know, shout out to UCLA. It's great right there. But Jordan Canada, Nneka Ogwumike, they are the glue. I mean, you got the front court and the back court right there. But for some reason, all year long, the Sparks right now are 7-12. 7 wins, 12 losses, and it seems like they have now won a game in almost 3 weeks. What can the LA Sparks do right now? I mean, if I was the head coach, if I was Kurt Miller right now, and I got the players that I got right now, I can see why Jordan Canada might play 36 to 38 minutes. I can see why Nneka Ogwumike might play 37 to 40 minutes, maybe the whole game if needed. Because games like these will matter at the end of the day. Everyone is so tight right now in the standings. The Sparks were just at the fifth, sixth seed about 3 weeks ago. Now they're at the 9th spot. A game and a half from the 8th spot in order to make the playoffs. Of course, yeah, there's still about 20-some games left in the regular season, but games like these matter. You do not want to come to the last week of the season, especially when your last 2 games of the season are on the road. You do not want to come to those last 2 games to try to win those and to try to fight yourself a spot in the bottom of the conference. Because just imagine this. Say that the Sparks land on the 7th or the 8th seed, which is our last 2 bottom seeds of the league. You are going to face either the Vegas Aces in the first round, or you're going to face the New York Liberty in the first round. Either or, which arguably are the 2 best teams in the league right now, should be meeting each other in the WNBA finals. You do not want to go to the last resort in having to deal with live-changing games that, things can change depending on the way the season ends. Whether it's the players, the coaching staff, whatever things change all the time at the end of regular seasons. Right now is the time that you gotta put all your horses and all your chess pieces out on the table right now. If Nneka is healthy, you gotta play her. If Jordan is healthy, you gotta play them 35 to 40 minutes. This is how many minutes they gotta play. When you got Azurá Stevens, who's playing amazing over her last 5 games, she played 40 minutes this last game. That's what you got to do. When you look at Dearica Hamby, I wish Dearica Hamby did not go through that ankle injury last night in Phoenix. Hopefully, she does get back on the floor on Wednesday. Of course, the Sparks will be facing the Las Vegas Aces on Wednesday night at the Crypto.com arena. And, of course, you can follow us there at LA Sparks Weekly on Instagram as we bring you the latest coverage on the team all around. But it is very important for the coaching staff, especially the players. Play with confidence out there. Know that the season is on the line. Don't go into Wednesday's game knowing that, I got 1 game and then we got 1 week off. I get that you guys want to go on this break, but make sure you guys go on this break strong. Don't let Vegas come into the town, into crypto, and try to kind of end your season in a way, because this game can really determine a lot at the end of the game. Even though you might come into the game and be like, well, we're facing the Aces. That is a tough matchup. The Aces right now are 17-2. 17-2 in their first 19 games. It's impressive. They only lost 1 game in the last month. They just lost it on Friday. They lost by 2 in Dallas. So prior to that, they were 17-1. Las Vegas is definitely going to come in strong. Asia Wilson got a 2-year contract extension, so she's going to be locked in. And you see what Kelsey Plum just did in Dallas. Dropped 40 points. I mean, what is she going to do when she comes into crypto on Wednesday? Is she going to drop 45, 50? Something like that might be the case, but as being a LA Sparks media member, seeing what they've gone through from day one till right now, this very moment, it is the worst that any team in the NBA, in the WNBA, has ever dealt with. Coach Kurt Miller took it to Twitter earlier, late last night, and he was talking about it. He's talking about how difficult it's been, a combined of almost 95 missed games by all the players that had missed due to, non-COVID illnesses and injuries and season-ending situations that, you deal with. Katie, yeah, because I get confused with sisters. You got Carly and Katie Samuelson. Katie is the one who is about going to give birth any moment now. So she is done for the remaining part of the season, and she was a major piece last season to the somewhat of the success the team did have. So with Katie being out this year, you got Nia Clouden being out as well, and seeing what the this team is missing. They're missing Leisha Clarendon. They're missing Lexi Brown. They're missing Dearica Hamby. They're missing Shanae Ogumike. I mean, they go on and on. Every day they're missing somebody. I mean, who knows what's going to happen on Wednesday night? Who knows? But one thing I do know is that you guys better stay tuned right now, because when I return here on the breaks, I'm going to talk about the NBA, and I'm going to talk about you. Yes, you, when we return.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And of course, you can catch us here every single weekday afternoon on the Infanity TV. You can catch myself, Beef, DJ, and Michael. We bring you all of the latest takes because I did get a chance. And I'm going to say this right now. I did get a chance to take a sneak peek at what Michael and DJ were talking about the Las Vegas Aces. You know, I get it. They're freaking good. We're going to be able to see them firsthand on Wednesday afternoon. But let's not forget about the New York Liberty. New York's they're pretty good. Brianna Stewart giving you 50 P's any given night. You guys, Sabrina Ionescu, always money, buckets. She got it. She got so many tricks in her bag that they are a team to not beat. You don't want to deal with them when time does come and you're in the playoffs. You don't want to deal with the New York Liberty. They're a dangerous team. Dangerous. I'm telling you that right now. We will look back into this in September during the WNBA finals and be like, hey, Fredo, you were right about New York. Because I'm always right. And I'm telling you this right now. One thing I'm right about is the Lakers will, empty line, make or not make the playoffs. Like, are the Lakers going to be that team that improve maybe got an A+ as a grade for the offseason moves and the trades they did? Because they did some major consistent moves that kept this team lined up to maybe win for the next 2-3 years. Because when you really look at it, you got an Anthony Davis who is now in the boxing ring trying to get tough, which he should. So soft out there. He's really soft. He got to do something to get bigger and tougher, which is a good thing. He's getting out there in the boxing ring. You got someone like Austin Reeves, who you now have for another 4 years locked in, and he's only going to get better. Like, Austin Reeves, what he's capable of doing right now, that confidence level is going to pick up dramatically because he's going to be spending a lot of time playing basketball this summer. Of course, he is part of Team USA and will be heading out there with Coach Steve Kerr and some of the other great coaches and some great players as well, which he will learn a lot from being part of this team. And he's going to come in mid-season how do you say? He's gonna come in the form that he's gonna be like in January, because when some players don't really hit that stride until January and they get in that form of playing consistent basketball every other day, like Austin Reeves is gonna come in so hot that he's gonna turn out to be. I can see this coming right now, and I'm gonna say something crazy, and you might be like, well, I don't know if that's kind of true or if that's possible. I can see Austin Reeves averaging 22 points a game, 8 assists, and maybe 5 rebounds. That's what I see Austin's game improving to. He will be a starter. He will be starting alongside D'Angelo Russell, because there's no reason why Darvin Ham should bench D'Angelo Russell and have him coming off the bench. D'Angelo should start. I understand there's Gabe Vincent, who is a starter, who was a starter in the finals, but guess what? D'Angelo Russell was also a starter in the first round, in the second round, and in the Western Conference Finals. So he does have more experience than Gabe Vincent. Even though Vincent, you gave him 33 years, 3 years. But D'Angelo Russell really needs to take control of this. And then you look at Anthony Davis. You look at LeBron James. Yes, LeBron James. He's going to be 39 years old. I get it. He's going to be 39. Can he still run? Yes. Can he still jump? Yes. Can he still shoot the ball? I don't know. It's like his three-point shot really kind of went off during the playoff times. He was 0 for like 13 for a stretch. And his consistency shooting the ball drops the more the season continues. And early on, LeBron James is going to be LeBron James. He's going to be the healthiest man alive, and it's going to come towards like the Christmas time. LeBron's going to have an ankle injury. LeBron's going to twist his knee. LeBron has back spasm. LeBron pull a hamstring. LeBron has a headache. Things like that is going to come up with LeBron James. He's going to be so delicate this upcoming season that you're not going to be you're going to be able to give LeBron James nights off. But when you see a guy like Jackson Hayes, the defense he's going to bring to the table, and you look at one more missing piece that Rob Pelinka's looking at right now, he put it out there. I don't know if it's true or not, but he's like, hey, it's either Christian Wood, former Mav, or it's Bismack Biyombo, former Phoenix Sun and former Orlando Magic and former Atlanta Hawk and former Charlotte Hornet. And I think that's about it. But he's been around the league. He's definitely been around the league. And Bismack Biyombo or Christian Wood? I mean, if you know basketball, you know that you're going to go with Christian Wood. You know that Christian Wood can actually put the ball in the hoop more consistent than, Bismack Biyombo. Even though Bismack Biyombo reminds me of, like, I don't know. I don't want to really, if you really got to put it to someone, he's so athletic out there. He's so fast, but he's so out of control. He's like a Meta World Peace, but a bigger size, like a center type. Meta is very good out there. He can be smart. He can make the dumbest plays at times on the court. He can miss the easiest layup, and he can make some certain clutch shots, as we saw Game 7 against the Boston Celtics. But Meta is like Bismack Biyombo. He's not going to be that expensive. But if you want to go towards a Christian Wood, who was an all-star a few years ago, who has the capabilities of being a 10 and 10 type of guy, 10 points, 10 rebounds any given night, and he got the size. So I would go with Christian Wood, but of course, we're talking about money here, guys, and the Lakers don't have that much left. So I can see then why they're going to go after Bismack Biyombo. And of course, Bismack does not need the ball. Christian Wood last year, he was complaining a lot. I need the ball. Luka this, and Kyrie this, and he was never out healthy out there in order to really make the Mavericks a very competitive team out there. But when you look at that part of the game, Bismack might be the fit for the Lakers. And, Bismack is a good player. He's a good player, especially if he can get LeBron by inside and really kind of gather him up and keep him lined up. He can be a difference maker for the Lakers right there. But there is one thing that can be a difference maker around the sports world, an athlete here in Los Angeles who will be making a difference this upcoming fall. I will let you guys know when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Oh, yeah. We're back real quick here on The Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and we're going to go with the breakout here with Fredo. And I'm going to break out something that you should know as an LA native being here in Los Angeles, or if you're watching from, say, Texas, you're watching from Charlotte, Miami, New York, wherever the hell you at. Just realize that there is one person, there's one athlete that is going to turn around this city this year. I can already see it because he is so determined. He is one of the most consistent players since entering from the rookie year into the NFL. That is the one and only number 10 from the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. I do want to talk about Justin Herbert on how he's going to look this year. I mean, you look at his stage of being a rookie, of being a second-year player, being a third-year player. He improved every single year. I have not missed a game of Justin Herbert in the Charger uniform. I've been there every single time watching his development, seeing it from coming from Oregon, being given that opportunity to start after, Tyron Taylor got the wrong injection. Then minutes before kickoff, they told Justin Herbert, hey, you're about to make your debut. Get ready. And within 30 minutes, he got ready. He faced off Patrick Mahomes, almost beat him, competed, but every single game from that moment on that he stepped onto the floor against Patrick Mahomes in his rookie year, he has elevated his game every other week. That's exactly what was going on earlier today. Justin Herbert took it to Instagram. Of course, Herbert doesn't really do much social media, but when he does, he says, hey, the only thing that's on my mind is what's coming this fall. I will get better. I will do better. And of course, right now, the LA Chargers are 5th in the Las Vegas odds to win it all this season. Of course, Super Bowl will be placed in Las Vegas in a few months. So what will the Chargers do? What will Justin Herbert do? What will Fredo do? What will Infanity do? The Breaks. See you guys next week.